points you gave up in the first half, 59% shooting for Dallas. How do you stop that?
Yeah, well, playing better defense from the start. You know, it looked like we played the double back-to-back here. You know, we've got to play with a little bit more energy. Everything was too easy and then making shots.
Coach, you're playing a little short-handed, so you're having to tinker with your lineup. What are you seeing right now that you want to address in your matchups?
Yeah, look, you know, we're missing obviously a lot of big players, and that's unfortunate, but we've got to be a little tougher with us communicating it. We'll throw a little bit of zone here to hopefully take him out of some rhythm if we can.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. Sandy Brondello won her second championship as a head coach last year. 10 years earlier, won a championship with the Phoenix Mercury. And Grace Berger now bringing the ball up and putting it in off glass and then complaining that a foul wasn't called. And those, ladies and gentlemen, are the first points that she scored this year.
Strong take by Grace Berger, but people usually use that word strong when talking about her. Look at her physique. I mean, she is just, wow, in incredible shape.
Dallas has already played 10 players, including Maisha Hines-Allen coming back from an injury. Becker's off balance, carrying away, and still hits it.
Lulling the defender to sleep off of the bounce with the dribble. And that 6 foot tall can just elevate.
He does everything, kind of, as you said, kind of lulls you to sleep. Nothing too flashy. Smooth. Berger. Come on, that is going to infuriate Sandy Brondello. She's called the timeout. An 8-0 run to start the quarter. It's a 20-point advantage.
Not enough.
You saw Search What You See using the Google app. Look at those numbers for Arike. 11 points in the first quarter. She scored or assisted on 28 of the 31 points for the Wings.
It's incredible. And you can see why everyone's been so excited about the potential of a backcourt with Paige Beckers and Arike Ogunbowale. Again, Arike a little slow out of the gates this season, but never forget, she's been a scoring champion in this league and a flat-out bucket her entire career.
In fact, Ogunbowale, second fastest to scoring 3,000 points in the history of this league. Career low 16 points per game. All right, that is Roy Golbayan, Jenna Renault, Catherine Chang, our other officials that are going to check.
That was trying to make, but they were just checking to see if it was a 2 or a 3. Sorry, Paige.
Now, Talbot now at the line. They determined that it was a 2-point attempt. She went 1 out of 2 from there. Hines-Allen finds Beckers, who got loose underneath.
Very well executed play by Dallas.
Ionescu has yet to score in this game. Good defense. Berger lost it, and it is determined to be New York basketball, and then a reversal as the officials looked at each other. Well, right now you've got 3 reserves, and Hines-Allen, James, and Berger, who's bringing the ball up. Dallas out rebounding New York by 11 right now.
And that's where you really miss Breanna Stewart. You miss her on the glass. You also miss her around the rim defensively. And Dallas has 22 points in the paint.
Jones bottled up Leroux. They need a shot by Berger, and then it was blocked by Talbot. Shot clock violation. Gives the ball over to the Liberty. Sandy Brondello knows very well. Sandy, the head coach of the Australian national team. Led him to a medal last year of bronze in Paris. And now Sabrina Ionescu will have an opportunity to score her first point of the game. Now, Sabrina Ionescu coming in back-to-back games. She had 30 against Los Angeles in a loss. on Saturday, 29 against Phoenix, and that's just point number 1 here tonight.
And the game before that at home against Indiana, she had 10 points in the 4th quarter to secure that victory. So she has been on a tear.
The last 9 quarters coming in, have not been shooting the ball well until that 4th quarter to put away the fever. Harrison lost the ball. A little unforced error for New York, and now some pressure.
Didn't think you would really see pressure from a team that's shorthanded, but Sandy Brondello is trying to change things up a little bit. She mentioned we may see some zone here on a few possessions.
Finds Allen able just to go up and take it away and score her first basket.
That looked like a zone there, at least started that way.
Harrison knifes her way in, and they're surrounded by 3 Wings players. Drew a foul.
Take a look here. Looked like New York dropped on the backside.
New York just 10 players available tonight. Izzy Harrison at the line. 73% free throw shooter on the season. Haley Jones comes back in for Hines Allen. Jones getting the start, is yet to score. Now, this evening, she is 0 for 1. Dallas has led the entire way in this game. Jones versus Jones, and that's a travel call on Haley, guarded by Jonquel.
Jonquel Jones still working her way back into game shape, getting her timing together after missing those 12 games.
Ionescu short. Rebound grabbed by Berger, who's getting some big minutes tonight. He averages about 12.5 per game. Enrique with that rainbow shot. That took a while to come down.
You're gonna learn. She can get that shot up with a drop of a dime. You have to be ready and in her space.
Her second three-pointer of the game. Phoebish knocked it out of bounds after her miss.
Anytime Enrique Gumbawale has the ball in her hands, you can't retreat. See how she backed up for that kind of space to get the 3 up.
Well, that was Talbot who made the mistake that time. Second chance. Gumbawale guarded by Jones. Terrific cut by Haley. And then another assist for Gumbawale.
And that's the aspect of Haley Jones' game that you really enjoy, is how well she makes reads.
She did go to Stanford after.
This is true. Stanford and reading, sound like it goes together.
No. Jonquel, a little fancy footwork and a foul call after she missed the shot. Let's go back to the pass.
Yeah, Dallas here with a good...
Facing its biggest deficit of the season. Last foul was on Rue. They were down in a game, 20 points to a game in Atlanta, a game that they lost earlier this season. But they are being doubled up now by a Dallas team that is just 7-19 on the season.
And New York has found themselves down in recent games. I mean, they were behind to Indiana. They were down to LA, obviously. They were down to Phoenix. Phoenix was up 12.
Another Gumbawale to Jones connection, but that time the bucket wouldn't go.
And Haley Jones gets that look because of how Enrique's been scoring. And good quick strike by Cloud.
Natasha Cloud with her first basket. Didn't take long.
And Jonquel Jones is having to pinch in and anticipating the drive by Enrique. And that's how Geisel Suter got that shot.
Geisel Suter, 6'4" rookie out of Germany. And there's her Olympic teammate Phoebish, who misses for New York. Ball goes over to Dallas.
Watch how Jonquel Jones is kind of sloughing off a little bit, just
leading her French club to a title. Enrique. Now Carrington. Not quite enough. This is where New York wants to be. They love the pace, getting out in transition, but they have not been able to click so far tonight.
And again, they've just got some different lineups, players playing out of position, some lineups Sandy hasn't played very often, just trying to accommodate for what they're missing. But credit Dallas and their level of aggressiveness and execution so far.
Yeah, they came out playing very strongly, especially considering they played yesterday. Haley Jones with the bucket.
Haley Jones. Another quick strike here by New York. They're looking to really push the ball up, and that's something Chris Kouklinas was anticipating, them needing to get back in defensive transition.
They really wanted to get them in the half-court game. That was a sweet assist for Cloud as she found Talbot. Mbawale. Now Natasha Cloud, averaging just under 6 assists per game. Jonquel staying with it, and she was fouled.
Smaller lineup in for both of these teams.
Rest. Brianna Stewart out with a leg injury. Don't anticipate that Stewie would be ready to go on Wednesday. There's Brianna Stewart. Third year in New York after playing her first 6 years in Seattle. Quinterly back in to play the point. And so Suter, come on.
With the celebration to match.
Taken back. It's a second-round pick. Finally in the WNBA, Carrington blocks Ionescu. Enrique left all by herself, wanted the ball. How did Quinterly get in there?
Oh, man.
Boy, that was a bunny that she just missed, but somehow Quinterly, who is listed at 5'8", was able to get in and get the rebound.
Listed at 5'8", that might be generous.
Yes, that would be 5'8" with some lifts in her shoes. Ionescu, good defense on Ogunbowale. Carrington using her body very well just to get that little skosh of a separation. Dallas with 30 points in the paint.
And the 18 assists on 25 made field goals. 18 assists in the first half. Excuse me, 19.
Again, this is a team that played yesterday and were not competitive as they lost to Las Vegas here. Geisel Suter called for her first foul for Dallas, but they came out like gangbusters and have not let up.
They were disappointed with the way that Vegas game went. I mean, yes, they were out without Paige Beckers, but they gave up a lot of points off turnovers. They did not guard the three-point line, which they've done a really good job here in the first half. Only 3 three-pointers for New York. They make 10 a game. And so they've come out more determined on defense. They took Sabrina Ionescu out of a rhythm by trapping her and throwing some different defenses at her early. And she is a big facilitator, ball mover, scorer. And New York has just been out of it this first half.
And Ionescu now out of the game. Gardner delivers at the line. Sabrina Ionescu so far has 1 point, 0 for 5 from the floor, plus she has 3 turnovers. And her plus-minus is -30. That's really not good. Haley Jones has had some good looks, but hasn't been able to get the touch to get him in. Cloud doesn't have numbers. There's a no-looker to Johannes, who always is ready to pull the trigger. As we approach a minute to go in the first half. Geisel Suter, we've seen her with a couple of threes and then some finesse on that shot.
The skill set is complete at 6'4". She can do a little bit of everything. She's got good hands. She can mix it up on the glass. She can space the floor.
Gardner able to contribute with the 3. And Enrique Ogunbowale already has a double-double, 14 points and 10 assists.
Wow.
What a half for Enrique.
He's been special.
WNBA halftime presented by State Farm is coming up, and in the studio they have a lot to talk about. Dallas domination, to say the least. Malika, Andrea, and Carolyn will try to explain what we have been seeing here. I'm sure people tuning in are looking at the score going, that can't be right. It's very right. Dallas is up by 24, thank you. It had been 27, which was the biggest lead of the game. Thank you, I need you for my math.
Got you.
They're up by a lot, and they're forcing plays. That's, you're right, a lot of different combinations, but we're not used to seeing this from the Liberty. Everybody's on their feet here to cap off what has been a brilliant first half for the Dallas Wings. Agumbawale got fouled on the perimeter by Talbot.
They were hoping to trap Agumbawale there to keep her from hitting a late bucket and getting some momentum, but Talbot was unable to contain her without fouling.
At least 10 points and 10 assists in any half. Here's Koklanis. And that franchise, that goes all the way back to the Detroit Shock. LaShawna Robinson.
That's a long time.
And they had some players. Tweety Nolan never did that. Katie Smith never did that.
That was a squad.
How about that? Cloud airballs it to end.